too many Democrats, too many of my friends, y'all, I hope you're watching this if we're friends in real life. Too many of my friends in real life think if I vote blue in the midterms, like, oh, that's my big act. That's my big thing that I have to do. That is really important. We need everybody to vote because Republicans are trying to disenfranchise millions and millions of voters so that they can maintain their grasp on power. Because if people are allowed to exercise their right to vote, then Republicans are going to lose, right? So they have to suppress people's rights. But I have too many friends that like, oh, their husband is a Republican and they live in a red state and they're like, my one big act that I can pull off is voting Democratic in the midterms. That's awesome. That you definitely need to do that. That's not going to be enough. That's not going to be enough. That's just one part of the solution. That's one part of the plan to get out of this. We have to care for each other right now. We have to defend. Timothy Snyder talks in his book on tyranny about how one of the key components of surviving periods of time like this is that we do not abandon the most vulnerable. We must defend the most vulnerable, those who are targeted by the regime. So what folks are doing in Minnesota, what they're doing here in Portland, rapid response ICE watch groups like the one that I'm a part of, that's really, really important work. That's how we keep the most vulnerable safe. We document so we get justice for them if we are not able to stop what's being done to them in the moment. Likewise, we're building those community connections because it is mutual aid. It is care for each other. The regime wants us isolated and therefore powerless. When we care for each other, when we invest in each other, when we lean into our humanity, that's how we build power, right? They don't want us to come together because when we do, we have all of the power. But it takes time. It takes time to do all of that. And I don't know how to make us pick up the pace. I would love to see big labor strikes. I would love to see huge concerted economic resistance efforts. Where are the massive, massive boycotts like we saw in the women's suffrage movement? Like where is the economic pressure being applied on huge, huge scales? And I don't mean like, yes, the Target boycott is a great example, but I mean like we got to dig deep and I'm not seeing that yet. So while we are building all of this out, I think shifting expectations of people, having people understand what is required in order to stop this, I think is still ongoing work, right?